I wonder how Panda's get on today. Loop-de-doo-de-doo. Why, hello, Jesus Christ!
Hi, Potemkin.
Why are you tweaking out like that?
It hasn't happened yet. It hasn't happened yet.
Why don't you just work on another G.R.A.B video?
Yeah, I guess. It's just, we're so close, man. We're so close.
How about, for the one time, cover someone you love?
You might be right. I think I might cover one of my favorite guys.
Oh yeah, finally my good video.
I think I'm gonna cover King.
Are we dead ass right now?
It makes so much sense. He's my favorite. Thanks, little
I'm
guy.
gonna kill you!
My loyal fans! Hey, hey!
任務を遂行する。終わりだ。
A 3D grappler tends to be a grappler that kinda lacks in the low department, but has amazing mids and amazing throws to mix up their opponent. Command grabs tend to be techable, have ways to deceive their opponent so they can get these command grabs as often as they possibly can. They're an absolute treat to watch because once they're in, they have so many fun throw animations to watch, and that is what 3D grapplers are all about, and we're going to be talking about the main 3D grappler in today's video. But what's up, fellas? Panda here. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video.
Such
Be sure to like this up, and you know why you're turned around, so don't even act all uppity today. I don't know what his deal is. It's time to cover a classic fighting game as its first entry in a series that created a massive franchise we know today, Tekken. Tekken 1 tried to step into the world of 3D fighters after Virtua Fighter. Left a mark with a neat game with a franchise that's extremely well known now. And these are the basics you need to know about Tekken before talking about King. You have 4 attack buttons, one for each limb, and combining them with each other and directions can lead into more moves or strings, so it's great to figure this all out. The movement is sublime, with walking, dashing, running, crouch dashing, sidestepping, side walking, wave dashing, you name it, it's there. You still have the very silly moon jumping, but what are you gonna do? The neat thing about Tekken is that you can cancel all these movements into each other, and that is how the Korean backdash was made. By cancelling the backdash into a crouch, you're able to link them, and that's why we have what we have today. Now that you know the basics, let's get into the grappler of today. The wrestler that fights for the orphan, Jaguar Masked Man, King! Where do we begin? This is one of my all-time favourites, so I'm looking forward to this video without a doubt. King fights using nothing but professional wrestling and homages to media like Tiger Mask or Kinnikuman. You still get some of these tools as Tekken 1 was limited with the moveset. There was no chain throws, there's no muscle buster, there's no clothesline, and there's no OTG throws. He's missing some of the things that made him stand out in future games, but he does have other things we'll get into. I also want to mention that this version of King has been covered by other YouTubers, and I just want to do this as King is one of my favourites, and I want to do my own little twist on it. You know, I think G.R.A.B certainly stands out enough to do so. The story is simple. He runs an orphanage, and he wants funding to support it, so he joins the King of the Iron Fist tournament to try and win it and gain those funding. Very simple. We're in that Tekken lore where it didn't get too silly, but it had a nice message that you want to follow. Let's get into what made him unique and broken. One thing I want to get out of the way before getting into this. King was their first attempt at a 3D grappler that took notes from Wolf from Virtua Fighter. In doing so, they created something busted by accident due to a miscalculation on one of the tools, and I'll get into that later. We also have to keep in mind he's limited due to not being modern-ish, so he's missing a lot. King had a lot of basic tools that we know today, like solid pokes, mids, and throws. His movement was decent, but he was missing out things like his crouch dashing or wave dashing that we know him for now. He had very simple movement and not many tools to enhance it like Jagger's tip. Again, he's missing a lot that you know him for. His throws were worth talking about right from the get-go. To tech throws in Tekken, you pick the right arm for the right throw. If you see left, you pick left. You see right, you pick right. And if you see both, you press both. King had a complete throw game for every arm, but not for the reasons you thought. His generic throw was done for the right, not the tombstone that a lot of the Tekken buffs will know. In this game, tombstone was a high damaging throw that led to a knockdown, and it did a dillion, man. It hurt really, really hard. But it wasn't done with the right arm, it was done with both. So this was the throw you went to for your 1+2 grab, because as we know as modern Tekken heads, tombstone is one of King's best throws, except it was attached to the right arm. In this game, it's attached to both. So if you're a Tekken head, you know this is automatically the choice you go between the other throw we're going to get into. Giant Swing was a damaging throw that can knock the wind out of anybody. It's still a key throw worth representing. Its key strength was super strong, but not a lot of people know about this, so best I explain it. When he does the throw, it looks like he's doing it with both arms, but he is actually doing it with the left arm. So you can deceive your opponent by going between Tombstone and Giant Swing. You do this well enough, it's a 50-50 that can get in the heads of your opponent. So choosing between Tombstone and Giant Swing, that was how you did your high damage off of your command grabs. Because if they picked the left arm, we did Tombstone, they were getting Tombstone. And if they did both arms, we did Giant Swing, you got Giant Swing. What I would say if any of that were true, this is actually editing, Panda. I was in the middle of cutting my audio, and I did some research. You can't break throws in this game. So everything I just said only applies to Tekken 2 and onwards. Right now, can't break throws, at least on a console port. Throws were unbreakable, so that made Giant Swing, Tombstone, you name it, whatever, it was just for sauce. It was all guaranteed. We're right off to a great start to why he's broken up. However, you could duck throws in Tekken, so there had to be some type of mid-check tool that King can use to stop people from ducking. And the tools he had for that were down forward right or left punch to check the opponent with a punch or an elbow. These were decent in terms of damage and plus on hit, so it was your turn to go for a strike throw. However, this is where you really get into the nitty and gritty of the title of the video. He was broken. Why? Down forward left arm was absurdly plus on block that came out in 14 frames, which is fast for Tekken. You were like 60 plus on a 14 frame elbow. To do the maths, if we exclude the recovery of King's down forward 1, he can do 4 of these elbows compared to the time it takes for you to recover. That is absurd. It was an impressive elbow, but it doesn't get any better than that. Oh god, foreshadowing.
That is absurd.
I bet you wish that was your first iteration, huh? Jesus Christ. Unblocked, this gave a free float combo to do whatever you wanted. So after a throw, King mains would do this to hit the opponent getting up, and the only way to counter this was to either stay down or take the hit. However, again, in Tekken, you can be hit while laying down, so he can bully you with OTG attacks for staying down. Some of these deal a lot of damage, so he wasn't a character to lay down against, so the best strategy was to get up and take that elbow to avoid getting launched or reset into a 50-50. This made him broken as it was fast, super plus, couldn't be ducked, and gave a guaranteed combo. This was the thing that made him busted beyond belief with little to no counterplay. Also, I want to talk about some things that were neat about King in this iteration, because again, it's the first one. You had this Frankensteiner, which was a still good round ender as an unblockable up close too. You also had the alley kicks with the counter hit properties, where if you get 5 in a row, you get a launch. Still a bad move though, due to being committable and punishable, and didn't even have the mid follow up yet, so you couldn't even RPS it. And finally, the thing that I want to know is you could count this as an Armor King grab video as well. In this game, Armor King had the exact same move list as King, the only difference being is that he was given the Mishima stuff. He could actually do the crouch dash, he had the Wind God Fist, and he had the big upper. So Armor King was better than King due to being King, but had better stuff than him, because he actually had a damaging launcher, so whenever he did the elbow, he could actually do a pickup that did a ton compared to King doing a jab and that was it. Right now, Armor King isn't unique enough to get his own grab, but maybe in the future. And there isn't gonna be a montage of like the best kings, because like anybody can play them, right? Down forward 1 was that good of a tool. It's like the whole Sailor Uranus thing. It doesn't matter how good of a player you are if someone like me can play Tekken 1 King. And people say Classic Tekken has fundies. I don't know what you guys are talking about, bro. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. This is insanity. But King was busted, and it was a great iteration for his first instance coming into the Tekken world. It's just a shame that that down forward 1 made him as strong as he was. Honestly, if we could change the time, I would just make it so down forward 1, if they want to be a +2, make it like +7? But let's not do that. It should be as it is now, where it's -3 with a follow-up and is +1 on hit. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to like and sub. Let's try to hit 5k subs to cover a very fun version as I gave. I'm right there. People have been asking what is, and I'm not going to tell you until the video. Simple as. So be sure to check out the membership system as it helps support me. I do have two lovely people that have taken part, so if you guys want to join them, that'd be awesome. And be sure to say hi to Terra and Pin. They're Terra Pins called Terra and Pin, right? So it's clever naming trick. And I'll catch you guys in the Grappler Church. And hopefully, this will be the second to last time we're gonna have to do this. Peace out, fellas. See ya.